Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttrading-solutions.com for a Tuesday, 29th of August, closing out the summer month here. We didn't have any doldrums today, right? Welcome, everybody. Again, give me a thumbs up, join the channel, put some commentary in the comment box. If you want to contact me, you can contact me at support@transparenttrading-solutions.com. I'm gonna, Labor Day's coming up, but after Labor Day, I will be having another class. So stay tuned for that. Let's get right into it. So today, the jolts, right? Job openings, softer than expected. Rates came down. Market, with the thin volume, algos just took off. All of that. So we'll get into that in a minute. I did talk about on the weekend newsletter. By the way, if you want to sign up for that weekend newsletter, I did talk about the setup for 10-year, bond market rally, 10-year record short in the commitment of traders, record short in that Treasury market. So that is playing out. So hopefully some of you guys are taking advantage of some of that, either with TLT or maybe the 10-year note yield futures contract and so forth. Let's get right into the charts. Okay. So we are now back. You look at the starting with the S&P, we had that huge rally today. The rally, essentially, we did hold these lows here, and I did talk about this over the weekend, that market still looked resilient. We haven't broken below here. That was, again, a message of the market telling you the market probably still, as long as we didn't break below here. Now, where do we go from here? We still have core PCE on Thursday. We have non-farm payrolls. Could that reverse everything? Of course. We really don't have anything up top here. You can see just a bunch of pivots and resistance levels all the way up to the gap here. That doesn't necessarily translate into the market just going straight up to here. In fact, it could actually hit some resistance here at 45.40 or something, and then pull back. One thing that will really, again, if rates continue lower, and also I've been talking, I just had a class about the VIX. The VIX hitting a new low will probably give us a sell signal. So keep an eye on that as well. VIX actually obviously dropped pretty sharply today, back down below 15. Still not at new lows. I would wait for a new low and see if that complacency comes back in the market. So all in all, we're still, I would just say, still largely range trading. You can see we have these big whippy moves that are probably trapping a lot of folks if you don't understand how the markets work. We have some new levels forming on the buy side, nothing on the sell side. The only levels really just going back into the other markets here, the NASDAQ. Interestingly, the NASDAQ, somewhat of a laggard, actually. If you take a look here, somewhat of a laggard, because we are barely just eclipsing these highs up here. So you can see we are just a few points above from that peak from last, the NVIDIA peak, if you want to call it that, right? So it's kind of interesting that the NASDAQ still, looking at the charts, still kind of lagging. And we did come down into this area here and then rally. Obviously, in retrospect, who knew that the jolts of all things were going to create this? Again, a lot of it has to do with the low volatility, the low volume. I think algorithms are just running crazy right now. So, but we still have some levels up top here. And again, all in all, wouldn't shock me in the least if any of these moves were reversed by the end of the week, especially if we get another super hot jobs number, which could be in the cards on Friday. So we'll see what happens. But again, all in all, I would just say still largely range trade. You can see that also in the Dow. These levels are going to get blown out. This is why I always stress to people, just just because it's a level doesn't mean it's going to work, right? You can't just take any level at random here. And the fact that we are we're basing along here and having all this base, and then now we're getting into all this junk again as well. So we'll see how this goes towards the end of the week. Russell also catching a little bit of a bid. It is coming into some levels here in the Russell. We'll see if that blows through that. And then we're really, again, just all these markets, have been kind of just meandering lower. We did hold on the Russell down at this kind of support area down in here. See, it actually whipped down in here. But generally speaking, I would just say largely range trading for the most part. Still with an upward bias, clearly. But that wasn't the case. Everybody got super bearish down in here again, which is really interesting, right? So bonds did roll over. We're in the December contract. And as I was, I've been talking about this, bonds probably peaking, rates are peaking. This is, again, basis the December contract. You'll notice we're coming right up into this. So if bonds actually, they're coming up into these levels, if we do have a reversal in the bond market, that actually could also reverse stocks, as you can see this. So it's all kind of working in sync here. Similarly, the 10-year, we talked about that. The 10-year kind of looks like it's going to blow through that level there. Yields coming down sharply today. You can see that there. And then the 2-year also. By the way, that's a rollover gap, so wouldn't really pay much attention to that. But nonetheless, on the short end, you see big rally in the 2-year, which means yields drop. And then also, we've been talking about this level in dollar, right? We've been drawing this out if you watch me on Friday. As rates are coming down, so is the dollar. So that corollary is still there. This also created a nice jump in some of the currencies across the board. Nothing really spectacular here, just maybe a corrective move. You basically just came down into some of these areas here, generally just kind of just chopping around. We'll see if this is the beginning of a big reversal in the dollar. We don't know that yet. Obviously, we'll know that by the end of the week with all the data coming out. So generally speaking, you got a bunch of a little bit of a reversal here. Still looking at that peso. Looks like we just came down to some minor levels here and reversing again. So we'll see if that continues going in the same direction here. If the dollar, again, all predicated on the dollar. Been talking about silver. Didn't get any pullbacks. Silver did roll over. That's a rollover gap as well into December. We do have some levels up top at 25, around the 25.55 area. Gold really not responding that great, but it did respond a little bit as the dollar fell today. So all the dollar-related markets did come off a little bit today. Oil also kind of caught a bid. I think that partly to do with with the what's going on with the stock market. So that also caught a bid. And then nat gas just dead in the water. So not a lot going on there. Soybeans, also just all the grain markets, really not anything to talk about other than, maybe wheat is coming down to some levels here with the rollover on wheat going into December. Okay. So to sum things up, I have to tell you, this caught a lot of people by surprise today. I honestly did not, we knew that the jolts were going to be important, but the fact that it came in much lower than expected, and again, the markets always find a reason to do what they're going to do, today was jolts again. But generally speaking, I wouldn't get overly excited, especially with the VIX coming back down to 13. So this could just be another kind of, we had that attempt at a rally, which failed. Now we took that out. I would like to see this is the key right here. So if the NASDAQ is lagging right now, and rates come, and this is a short lived kind of rally in the 10-year, coming up into these levels. And I do suspect we're either going to pause here or maybe even reverse. Remember, we're also coming into September, which is one of the toughest months of the year. Whether that plays out this, this year is going to be really interesting. So lots of cross currents still. Again, today I think was just a function of low volume algorithms and maybe a lot of people getting caught off sides again. Everybody got very bearish. Well, we know that everybody is bearish on the bond market. We know that because of the, as I mentioned, because of the record shorts in the market. But also, I have to tell you, I've been kind of talking about this, the fact that everybody, was talking about, and especially this big reversal on NVIDIA, everybody got kind of was talking about further correction, 10%, whatever. But, it came down 6%. I wrote about it over the weekend. It was a garden variety correction. And I do suspect overall, we're still going to be chopping around back and forth. In fact, it wouldn't shock me if we start forming a big range. And remember, the markets, look at this right here. Could we get into one of these deals here, right? This was from literally all of us in the spring, April, March. We were sideways, all of that. Here in December, we were sideways. Here, we were sideways, all of that. So does that, again, one of the problems a lot of people have is they think that the market's always going to be going, trending in one direction, where the reality is, yes, overall the trend has been higher, but we've spent, months traversing sideways before the next leg up. And conversely, I don't believe this is just kind of off to the races. I think we can just go sideways here for a little bit. Maybe into, December, we rally up and maybe make a new high. But for now, again, I would be very, very cautious to chase this. In fact, I would just treat this as a range market, more or less. Okay. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your week. Again, we got core PCE on Thursday and the non-farm payrolls on. So we got a bunch of stuff. Also earnings. Also, Tesla. I've been talking about Tesla. That obviously is tracking the market really, really well. We had a really nice pop in that today. We've been, again, we've been looking at this. We were long here, and then it went sideways, finally broke out today. We did not get in on this one. In fact, there's a really nice supply zone up here at 80, and then we have some resistance coming up here. But this will be, we're going to watch the S&P at levels before we engage on the short side. So I am possibly looking to be buying some puts on Tesla as we get up into these levels over here. And then we did put on some, we're looking at CrowdStrike. We're looking at, we're in BBY coming into today. We're in some calls, which are okay for now. And then looking at some other stuff. So, okay. If you're interested in spending a few days with me for free, a week or so, contact my support at Transparent Trade Solutions, and we can arrange for that. So you can just come in the mornings and see what we're doing in the morning. Okay. All right. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Friday. Take care.